Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Levente Szabo. I'm the Customer Success Manager at Midori, and today we will be focusing on better PDF exporter for Jira Cloud. And by the end of this presentation, I hope you will understand how to get started with the app, how to export Jira issues to PDF, and what kind of PDF exports and reports are available out of the box. I will break down the administration and customization options that you can use to control the export options. And at the end of my talk, we will see what other apps is Better PDF Exporter Cloud compatible with, and we will finish things with a Q&A section. Before we begin, let me note that this presentation is being recorded and will be available on the Midori YouTube channel soon after it concluded. It also, if you also registered through our website, I'll also make sure that you get the recording link in email as well. During the presentation, don't forget to use the live chat feature to ask questions. Or if you're watching the recording right now, please leave your question as a comment below the video to get the conversation started. We will address questions at the end of the presentation, or if we won't have time for all, or if I don't have the answer right away, we will collect all the questions and answer them in an upcoming blog post on our blog. So please find a link to our blog in the description of this video and subscribe to it to make sure that you don't miss the blog post. Now a little background on Midori to get you started. We at Midori are a long-time member of the Atlassian ecosystem. We've been part of Atlassian's journey for 10 years now, both as end users and as app developers. We have a gold top vendor status, which means that we are verified against Atlassian's high standards of software and support quality. It also means that our apps are always compatible with the latest Jira, Confluence, or Bitbucket versions. Among our customers, we count many worldwide recognized brands and industry-leading companies, as well as some of the hottest startups. Now, a couple of thoughts you should know about Better PDF Exporter Cloud. So this app was built on solid foundations. In the past 10 years, we have learned a lot from developing and maintaining the server and data center versions. And while it's not a trivial process to publish the cloud version of a server app, we were able to leverage our experience and channel that into the cloud version. The app is also loved by customers. It's one of the top-rated apps for Jira. According to those reviews, customers most appreciate the flexibility and the great support behind the app. Better PDF Exporter Cloud is easy to use for anyone, even without previous experience with Jira apps, because the typical business use cases and report types are covered with built-in templates. At the same time, it's an open canvas for developers and Jira admins who can customize or build new templates to align PDF exports with business requirements. Okay, so to get us started, let's look at the agenda today. As I mentioned, we will cover the basics. We will start our agenda with the most common Jira contexts that you could use for exporting to single and multiple issues. We will look into some PDF reports that have been available and some that were introduced in the cloud version of Better PDF Exporter. Then we will clarify what PDF views are and how you can use them, what the templates are and how you can use those, and we will also mention integrations with other apps, following by questions at the end to answer some of your most pressing concerns and questions and needs. Now let's get started with exporting a single issue. So Atlassian is constantly working on improving the Jira Cloud user interface. And that's why today there is an old issue view and the new issue view for the issue details screen. The new issue view is a more compact and modern looking version. And depending on your instance and project type, you might still see the old view, but Atlassian's goal is to introduce the new view everywhere and make it the default. If you're watching this webinar a few months after recording, you might already see the new view everywhere. Better PDF Exporter natively works with both views. There are only tiny differences in where you find your PDF export options. Now let's take a look. After you install the app and you're looking at the new issue view, like we are doing right now, you will notice Better PDF Exporter as a new item added to the right side. This opens up your available PDF export options, and these are called PDF views. You'll notice that Jira also offers you the option to switch to the old issue view. And if you do that and switch to the old issue view, you'll see the same PDF export types. Only the button that opens it looks like this in the upper right corner of the issue. From the PDF types, you can choose one you want to use. The first four are basically variations for a single issue export. The very first exports the issue you are currently looking at with the issue fields that are currently visible in the issue detail screen. The second exports the issue but with all fields that are associated with the issue, regardless if they are visible or not in the issue view. The third one exports the visible fields but takes the issue attachments as well and embeds those in the output PDF as attachment. And if your issue has subtasks, this fourth type will create a PDF document with the parent issue on the first page and the subtasks on the subsequent pages. Now let's see an example for all of these types and see how they look like. If you choose to export a single issue by selecting one of the mentioned export options, you will get a PDF document exported and downloaded to your computer. In the upper part of the output PDF, Better PDF Exporter will export all your system fields and custom fields. If you chose to embed issue attachments as well, the exported PDF will also hold images or other file types as PDF attachment. You also have your issue links exported and the issue description and comments, keeping all rich formatting it had on the web. Now, this PDF example was created with the most basic template that exists. If you want to, you can customize this Outlook to support any layout that fits your company's requirements. You can add or remove content sections, change the look of the PDF by adding your own branding, coloring, and so forth, for instance. PDF exporting also works with other Jira applications like Jira Software or Service Desk. This example is an export of a single Service Desk ticket. As you can see on the PDF, you have the Jira core fields, but also the custom fields coming from Service Desk with request type and SLA information. You can decide to include more metadata into a PDF export, including subtasks, work logs, comments, or even the full change history of an issue. As you just saw, subtasks can be listed on an issue export, but there is an option to export your issue with detailed subtasks. If you choose that, your exported PDF document will contain the parent issue on the first page and the subtasks on the subsequent pages. So you will get your issue and subtasks in a single PDF document. The PDF file format, as I already mentioned, has this great ability to embed files and handle them as integral part of a document. You can take full advantage of this when exporting PDF documents from Jira and embed issue attachments into your PDF. This is useful for like a number of things, like embedding the log file in a bug report, and especially important if you're using PDF export to archive Jira issues. That way, you can export issued data to PDF and store them in a document management system for long-term storage. It keeps your information searchable, but without weighing on and cluttering your Jira instance. In countries where English is not the first language, local language support is always a concern. But not with Better PDF Exporter. You can use it with Asian languages or other languages with special characters in the exported PDF documents. The app works with 100% Unicode internally, therefore it supports any language by default. Okay, so far we worked in the issue details screen and focused on a single issue. Now let's see what we can do with multiple issues. If you pull up your issue navigator screen in Jira Cloud, you can open the export options by clicking this tiny document icon in the upper right corner. Notice that these are not exactly the same export types, as new ones are available when you export from the issue navigator screen. For example, a Gantt chart export doesn't make sense for a single issue, but it does for multiple. We will see how to configure what export options to show here in just a minute. So as you can see, many report types come with the app built in. In its simplest form, this is what a list of issues looks like when exported to PDF. But Issue Navigator is not the only screen where you deal with a lot of issues. A list of issues sometimes take different forms. These are also typical contexts where you often want to work with a list of issues, like your agile board, the different columns on the board, or a service desk ticket, or your project backlog. The good thing is the Better PDF Exporter appears in these scenarios, like the service desk tickets queue, and well, adding the appropriate export menu options according to the context. Okay, moving forward, take issue exporting to another level. By looking at PDF reports, we look at how we can use Jira issues and issue data and represent them in a totally different and new way. Here we will browse through some examples that help you understand the level of Better PDF Exporter's flexibility. These really show what you can do with a simple list of issues. You can take a list of issues and create a ready-to-print invoice that summarizes your logged hours and lists your work logs as the invoice line items. Or a release notes that includes only issues that have been resolved since the last release. Issue list can mean story cards from the currently running sprint, or a requirement specification that clearly outlines what needs to be done, or a traceability report that makes it easy to track how issues are connected to each other, or a custom report using any of your custom Jira data, or a very popular one, a Gantt chart, that takes into account the start and end dates of a Jira issue. And I hope you agree that these are really good examples of how you can represent a list of issues for different business purposes. Better PDF Exporter Cloud adds a few more to this array of great reports. Time by status and time by assignee reports. Let's start with time by status. Time by status is an important metric for anyone looking to understand the speed of progress of a work item and discover possible bottlenecks along the way. It's basically the measurement of how much time a certain issue spends in each status and how speedy it goes through the workflow. If you choose the time by status report from the PDF export menu, the app exports the issue in a similar way that you already saw, but it calculates the time by status metrics also and adds new sections to the report. Here you have the status timeline, visualizing on a horizontal bar chart how much time did the issue spend in each status. When you have further meta information like status change history, so the details of what status changed what status and by whom. And in the time by status report section, you will also find how many times did the issue go through the same status. How much time did the issue spend in a status overall, and what percentage does that represent from the total lifetime of the issue. And no report would be complete without some more colored charts and diagrams, so you get that as well in the PDF output in the time by status chart section in the form of a bar chart and pie chart depicting the previously mentioned values. Moving to the time by assignee report, you can see that the format is very similar. By choosing the time by assignee report, the app calculates the time each assignee has spent on the issue. You also have the assignee change history and the same charts to visualize all these metrics. This helps you understand which of your colleagues has spent what portion of their time on the issue and discover any problems that might need addressing. These two reports are just examples of what you can use Better PDF Exporter Cloud for. You can customize this report template and replace status and assignee by any of your key metric or issue custom field that is meaningful to you and build a similar time by report from those. Now let's get into the matter of what are the PDF views and how you can use them. PDF views are the export types or the menu options that appear in the export menus that you can toggle with many Jira screens. On Jira Cloud, the way these menus appear can be different. As you already saw, there are sometimes drop-downs, sometimes buttons that open a new dialog window, and the PDF views are the elements of those export menus. They have their names and also their positions in the menu. You can refine which export menus in which Jira screen should offer what view or what export type. For example, a story card export may make a lot of sense in a Scrum board or in Issue Navigator, but not a lot on service desk tickets. Each PDF view is linked to a PDF template. So here you control what template should be used, or in other words, what type of document should a view create. Here you can also reorder them, and this order will also be reflected in the export menus. PDF views can be managed in the apps section of the Jira settings menu for Jira admins. If you click on a PDF view, you can open it up for editing. You have a couple of options when you're editing a PDF view. First, you can edit an intuitive and descriptive name. Keep in mind that the name of the view will appear in the export menus. So here you are basically editing the menu options. Try keeping the name really short, concise, and intuitive for your users. In the context section, you can define the Jira contexts or screens where you want the export option to be visible. Next is the description, which will appear in the administration view only as a quick reminder about what the export option is for. Then finally, you were defining the template that the view will render. Speaking about these templates, let's look into these templates now. The templates are the brain of your PDF exports. PDF templates are written in an XML-based markup language for document formatting. It's called FO, which is short for XSL formatting object. It is very similar to HTML. FO has the concept of pages, blocks, bullet lists, so the basic building blocks of documents. Using these building blocks, you can define or modify the layout and the content of an exported PDF. But what the FO language doesn't have is an easy-to-use if-then logic. So we combine it with Velocity to build complex documents with dynamic data. So you can think about it like FO gives the formatting, while Velocity gives the logic. Velocity is already the standard templating language used in Jira for example, for things like notification emails. So it's nothing new that we introduce here. If a template requires more complex business logic, like some calculation or loading information from an external database, it can be accompanied by a Groovy script, which will do the heavy lifting. When you open up the template section, you find a list of your existing templates, and those have their descriptions and their timestamp of the last updated date. It's important that you are not starting from scratch. Better PDF Exporter comes with many built-in templates that you can use right away. They cover the typical use cases as they are. So if those feature use case, then you might not need to customize templates at all. But if you don't like something in an exported PDF, you can open it up for editing and you can customize the template. Or you can make a copy and customize the copy and keep the original. If you click on a template, it opens up a built-in editor where you can make your changes. You can save them, and those changes are ready to be tested or used immediately. This set of technologies are the key behind infinite flexibility, because you being able to adjust these finest details makes you able to create a wide variety of PDF exports. The templates are written in FO and Velocity, but basic changes can still be made easily by anyone without any technical knowledge. There are also parameters in the templates that are really easy to modify, like changing colors of elements or alignment of text. And many templates have true or false switches that are really easy to control. We are not going into template development in this webinar, but if you want to hear more in depth about templating in Better PDF Exporter, let me know in the chat or in the comments below the video so we can reach out to you. Okay, so now let's see integrations. Building integrations with Atlassian applications and other business critical apps has been a top priority for us for a very long time. Better PDF Exporter Cloud integrates with all Jira editions like Jira Core, Software, and Jira Service Desk. And beyond the recently released cloud version, it also can be found for Jira Server and Data Center. As the cloud version of Better PDF Exporter has just been released not long ago, we are just starting out with integrations with other apps. Our partnerships with ScriptRunner, Automation for Jira, Tempo are among the most popular integrations on Server and Data Center. So most probably we will be looking at those first on cloud as well. but it's all open to customer requests. So we are listening to our users and will prioritize those integrations that have the most support. Actually, you can even take this opportunity today to tell us which app do you use most frequently that would make sense for us to integrate with. You can use the chat, you can leave a comment and let us know. And the app was released in June 2019. So if you're listening to the recording at a later point in time, I recommend you check out the available integrations, as we might have introduced some already. You can find the link to the integrations in the video description below. Okay, so that concludes this section. Thank you for your attention. And please, as I mentioned, reach out to me with any questions or comments using my email you see on the screen. If you like what you heard, and by any chance you're also interested in Jira Server or data center apps, I recommend you give our other apps a try as well. Those cover slightly different aspects of productivity for business users as well as developers. For example, Better Excel Exporter is very similar to what you just heard, but instead of PDF, it exports your Jira data to real Excel files. Better Content Archiving is a content lifecycle management app for Confluence, mainly for large instances. It helps keeping Confluence content always up to date and streamlined. Better Commit Policy for Jira helps developers be more productive and compliant. The app verifies commits against configurable rules, so the code change history is always consistent and easy to follow. Now, before we actually open it up for questions, I wanted to first switch over quickly and show you the app in a Jira Cloud instance. So here, just starting out with the app, you can find the built-in marketplace under Jira Settings and Apps. Under Find New Apps, you have the same or very similar experience that you have on the Atlassian Marketplace website. If you type in Better PDF Exporter, you'll find the app and the same information that again is also visible on the Atlassian Marketplace website. You can add the app to your instance up here. It's shown that it's already added earlier, so we can just go ahead and give it a try. So let's pull up a single issue. So this is the new issue view that I already mentioned earlier. You'll notice that the Better PDF Exporter is added to the right here. If you click that, that will give you the PDF export options. Okay, so let's give a simple single issue export a try. It collects the data that's visible on the issue screen and downloads the PDF to your browser. So all your fields, the description, attachments. This is in the browser right now, but you can download the PDF to your computer, obviously. So the attachments are all exported, your subtask, comments, all the issues. I mean, all the information that was visible on the issue details screen. So going back, as I mentioned, the Jira Cloud, this view gives you the option to go back to the old issue view. This must be very familiar to you if you're a long-time Jira user. The only thing you need to notice here is the export option button up there. If you click that, it will give you the same export options. Okay, so this was the single issue view. Now let's give it a try and export some more issues, multiple issues. And to do that, let's pull up the issue navigator screen. On the issue navigator, you'll have this little document icon up there, which gives you the PDF views, your PDF export options. Let's export an issue list. It is 57 issues that we have in the issue navigator right now. It collects the data, downloads the PDF to your browser, and it's nicely, let's zoom in a little bit, it's nicely exported into a PDF document. Now notice that these columns up here are the same ones that were set up in the issue navigator screen. If you want to customize that, like add a new field, like add assignee, and place that somewhere we want, and give another exporting a try. So the column settings in your exported PDF will mirror your issue navigator screen. You see the assignee field is added to your PDF document as well. Okay, so if you want to pull up the PDF views to edit the export menus, it's found again under Jira settings. The menus are added to the left here. If you click PDF views, you'll find the PDF views that you can pull up and edit. Again, these are the menu options, so if you rename them, those will rename your menu options. The templates are underneath. You might not need to edit any templates if the built-in ones are sufficient for you, but if you want, you can pull them up here and make any of your edits. Now, with that, we'll open it up for questions. If you have any, this is the time to submit. I do have 2 questions that were sent to me before the webinar, so I probably will start with those 2. The first one is about automation, and a very popular question since the Cloud app came out. The question is, can I automate my PDF reports or issue exports? As I mentioned, integration with automation for Jira will be among the first integrations we will look into as we go forward. We are not there yet. But please keep checking the integrations page on our website and also the existing feature requests, and vote for those if you find anything that concerns you as well. You can find both links, so the links for the existing feature requests and the integrations page in the description. This is, by the way, generally true for all the integrations, not just for automation. If it's not available yet, check back later. We are working on it and prioritizing integrations based on your feedback. Okay, and another question we got was, I tried to bulk export my issues from Jira and the app gave me a timeout error. Can you tell me what caused this? Yeah, so also not the first user in trial mode to ask this question. My suggestion is that don't start your trial, your Better PDF exporter trial by trying to export all your tens of thousands of issues at once, just to test if the app works. First of all, the more issues you try to export, the more computational capacity and time necessary. So for trial users, there is a 30-second cap on how long the server can process your requests. So if it's too many issues, it will automatically time out. That's why you see that. This limit, by the way, is increased for live subscriptions. But the point here, what's important for you as a trial user who is evaluating the app, is that this limit doesn't stop you from trying all features of the app in full during your evaluation period. So this is not a feature limitation. This is just a capacity limitation. Just start with 20, 50, 70, or 100 issues, and not with 3,000, and you will be able to test any export types, any reports of the app, and you will be able to see if it covers your needs. Okay, it looks like this was all the questions we got today. If anything comes to mind later, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're always here to answer. You can reach out to us in a variety of ways. You can definitely open a support ticket in our support portal. But what I highly recommend is joining our Slack community. You find the invitation link in the video description below. Please use that. Join our Slack community, and you will be able to casually ask questions and keep up with the community and with the app developers and us at Midori anytime, even if you don't have any technical problems. Just have some questions about the apps or about the progress of features. Okay, so with that, I thank you for your attention today. I hope this presentation was informational and useful for you. Go ahead and start a trial of Better PDF Exporter Cloud today, and I will see you next time on our next webinar.